Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I welcome you back to the class of Al-Mulakhas al-Fiqhy by Shaykh Saleh Al-Fawzan Hafidhahullah Ta'ala. Today we are doing, inshallah Ta'ala, chapter number 8, wiping over the khuffs. في باب في أحكام المسح على الخفين وغيرهما من الحوائل. Wiping over khuffs as well as other hawail. So hawail is from ha'il is a singular and the plural is hawail. Ha'il, some barrier kind of, but the barrier here means like socks or something which comes in between ha'il. Ha'il, something which prevents mani'an, hajizan. Okay. So the Shaykh Hafidhahullah begins, Inna deenana deenu yusrin la deenu mashaqqatin wa haraj. يدع لكل حالة ما يناسبها من الأحكام مما به تتحقق المصلحة وتنتفي المشقة. So we say, Inna deenana deenu yusr. Indeed, our religion is a religion of ease. La deenu mashaqqa. It's not a difficult, which has difficulty in it. Wa haraj, there's no haraj also. Strictness. Yada'u li kulli halatin ma yunasibuha. And for every situation, there's something which is according to it. Min al-ahkami mimma bihi tatahaqqaqul maslaha. Which will give you maslaha. So what is maslaha? Maslaha is good. Good. Good for the society, good for the people, good for everything. And there is maslaha in this. وَتَنْتَفِي الْمَشَقَّةِ, and it removes difficulty. It removes difficulty. تَنْتَفِي al-mashaqqa. So everything is maslaha. It's for goodness of the society, goodness of everything. وَمِنْ ذَلِكَ مَا شَرَّعَهُ اللَّهُ فِي حَالَةِ الْوُضُوءِ. And from that, wudu. From that is what Allah has legislated in the situation of wudu. إِذَا كَانَ عَلَى شَيْءٍ مِّنْ أَعْدَاءِ الْمُتَوَضِّ حَائِلٌ يَشُقُّ نَزْعُهُ وَيَحْتَاجُ إِلَى بَقَائِهِ. So what happens is, إِذَا كَانَ عَلَى شَيْءٍ مِّنْ أَعْدَاءِ الْمُتَوَضِّ, the person who is doing wudu, he has something حَائِلٌ. He has some ha'il, some barrier. Nam yashukku nazu, which you cannot remove. It's very hard to remove. وَيَحْتَاجُ إِلَى بَقَائِهِ, and it requires something, it requires that you keep it. Why? إِمَّا لِوِقَايَةٍ, like the khuff or boots or socks. إِمَّا لِوِقَايَةِ الرِّجْلَيْنِ كَالْخُفَّيْنِ وَنَحْوِهِمَا, and it could be for protection of the 2 feet, like khuffain, the khuffs, the shoes, and something like that. أو لوقاية الرأس كالعمامة, or for protection of the head, like imama, imama which you wear. So what you should do? Should you open it up and then you should do wudu, or what is the ruling on it? العمامة. وإما لوقاية الجرح ونحوه كالجبيرة ونحوها, or it could be for the jurh, you've been wounded, something, you have a bandage. So that's called jabira. Jabira is a bandage. Jabira. So you have a jabira. وَنَحْوِيَا فَإِنَّ الشَّارِعَ رَخَّصَ لِلْمُتَوَضِّئِ أَنْ يَمْسَحَ عَلَى هَذِهِ الْحَوَائِلِ. The Sharia has allowed, gives tarkhis. That means it has given concession for the mutawaddi, the one who's doing wudu, أَنْ يَمْسَحَ عَلَى هَذِهِ الْحَوَائِلِ, that he does on these coverings. He should wipe it on this covering. وَيَكْتَفِي بِذَلِكَ أَنْ نَزْعِهَا وَغَسْلِ مَا تَحْتَهَا. And it is enough that you don't remove it, وَغَسْلِ مَا تَحْتَهَا, and wash it. That means there's no need to wash it, instead of removing them and washing what is underneath. تخفيفا منه سبحانه وتعالى على عباده ودفعا للحرج عنهم. تخفيفا, reduction of difficulty, and to prevent haraj on them, difficulty, strictness, and with no difficulty. Haraj is takalluf. So Allah has removed it. Alhamdulillah. So Alhamdulillah bil alamin. So he's saying because there's so many problems. So he's mentioned three things here: al-imama, on the head which you wear, the turban or the khuffs, and the third thing is jabira. Jabira is wounds. فأما مسح الخفين أو ما يقوم مقامهما من الجوربين والاكتفاء به من غسل الرجلين. فأما مسح الخفين, as for wiping the khuff, the two khuffs, أو ما يقوم مقامهما, or what takes its place من الجوربين, from socks. Socks, instead of removing them, والاكتفاء به من غسل الرجلين. So that is, instead of washing them, فهو ثابت بالأحاديث الصحيحة المستفيضة المتواترة في مسحه صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحضر والسفر وأمره بذلك وترخيصه فيه. So it is proven by mutawatir sahih hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in wiping. Because why is he saying so many things? بالأحاديث الصحيحة المستفيضة, beneficial. Mustafida. So mustafida means abundant, plentiful. From istifada with the dad. والمستفيضة المتواترة, and it is mutawatir also في مسحه صلى الله عليه وسلم, because there are groups which deny masah في الحضر والسفر, in hadar at home or in safar. وأمره بذلك, and his command also with that, وترخيصه فيه, and he has given tarkhis, concession in it. قال الحسن, so is now bringing evidences. حدثني 70 من أصحاب 70. Hassan says, رحمة الله عليه, Hassan al-Basri, that حدثني 70 من أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه مسح على الخفين. 70 companions have told me that he has, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has wiped over the khuffain. He has wiped over his خفين. وقال النووي روى المسح على الخفين خلائق لا يحصون من الصحابة. The mash has been narrated innumerable. خلائق يعني خلق كثير لا يحصون من الصحابة, they cannot be enumerated. Innumerable, there's so many صحابة. وقال الإمام أحمد ليس في نفسي من المسح شيء فيه 40 حديثا عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. I don't have permissibility of masah, anything in my heart, anything I don't have, because 40 hadith have come from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. وقال ابن المبارك, he's quoting all the scholars, because many people, they're like, how can you do masah, and they remove their socks, or they have conditions. And I know in Hanafi fiqh they have so many conditions. Okay, if it has holes, if it is thin, you're not allowed, you have to remove it, and so on. But inshallah ta'ala, correct opinion is whatever it is. If it's a socks, it can be called socks or shoes, or however it is, you can do masah inshallah ta'ala. وقال ابن المبارك, so that's why the Ahnaf, they don't prefer doing, from what I've seen, doing masah. They say no, it doesn't apply to socks, it's so thin and it's only for the khuff. ليس في المسح على الخفين بين الصحابة اختلاف هو جائز. Ibn al-Mubarak says rahimahullah, there's no difference of opinion between disagreement among the companions concerning the permissibility of wiping over the khuffs during ablution. It is allowed. وحكم المسح على الخفين أنه رخصة, and it is a rukhsah, it is concession. Concession. I forgot one line. وَنَقْلَ ابن المنذر وغيره إجماع العلماء على جوازه. Ibn al-Mundhir has brought ijma' on its allowance. Al-Ijma' Ibn al-Mundhir, he has a book called Al-Ijma', and وَاتَّفَقَ عَلَيْهِ أهل السنة والجماعة, and أهل السنة have agreed upon it. بخلاف المبتدعة الذين لا يرون جوازه. بخلاف المبتدعة, so the mubtadi'ah, the innovators, they don't think it's allowed, who do not deem it permissible. وحكم المسح على الخفين أنه رخصة. It is رخصة فعله أفضل من نزع الخفين وغسل الرجلين. It is a رخصة, and doing it is better than removing the khuffain and washing the legs. Why? You might be like, okay, I have socks or shoes or khuffain. You might like, removing should be better. No, why is wiping over it better? Because أخذا برخصة الله عز وجل. Because you're accepting, you're taking the concession which is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. واقتداء بالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ومخالفة للمبتدع. And you're going against mubtadi'a also, religious innovators also. نعم إن شاء الله تعالى. والمسح يرفع الحدث عما تحت الممسوح. And so the mas removes the hadath. So hadath is a spiritual removal, no? Because there are two types of najasa, no? One is hadath and the other is khabath or najas, you could say. So hadath is something spiritual, like you break your wudu, you break your ghusl, like that, you invalidate it. That is hadath. And khabath is something on your clothes. If you have something on your clothes, it's najasa. You have to wash it, no, properly. Inshallah, when we do Fiqh al-Muyassar, inshallah, after this, once we finish this book, we'll do Fiqh al-Muyassar. It has more details in that. Hadath and khabath and so on. وقد كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يتكلف ضد حاله التي عليها قدمه. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam never changed the condition of his feet to perform ablution. بل إن كانت في الخفين مسح على الخفين. He did not change it just to do wudu. If it was in khuffain, he did it. وإن كانت مكشوفتين, if it was removed مكشوفتين without any shoes, he would do what? غسل الخدمين فلا يشرع لبس الخف ليمسح عليه. So it is not mashru' that you wear it and then do mas. Correct? So you should not do that. Like, okay, just because I want to wipe over my legs, I will wear it and then wear the socks or whatever khuff, then I'll do mas. No, if you're already wearing it, then inshallah, as per the Shaykh, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, it is better to do mas. Like in office and so on, you're already wearing socks, so you should do mas. Now, because you're accepting the rukhsa, the concession which is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ومدة المسح, how much you should do? على المسح على الخفين بالنسبة للمقيم ومن سفره لا يبيح or يبيح له القصر. So the rukhsa, the time for it is for the person who's muqim or who's traveling where you cannot do qasr, like a short travel. Now, let us yawmun wa layla. You're not traveling for one day and night. Or بالنسبة للمسافر. So the period you can do 1 day and 1 night. 1 day يوم وليلة. يوم وليلة. وبالنسبة للمسافر سفرا يبيح له القصر. So for others where it's qasr is allowed, ثلاثة أيام. You're traveling a lot, you can do wash it from ثلاثة أيام بلياليها, with its nights, 3 days and 3 nights. لما رواه مسلم أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم جعل للمسافر 3 أيام بلياليهن. So for the traveler, it's 3 days and 3 nights, because in hadith of Imam Muslim, Sahih Muslim, وَلِلْمُقِيمِ يَوْمًا وَلَيْلًا, and for the muqim, it will be 1 day and night. Muqim. And that means 24 hours for a person who is muqim, is resident, and for the musafir, it will be 72 hours. 72 hours. So when do you begin the time? وابتداء المدة في حالة يكون في من الحدث بعد اللبس. It will happen after the hadath. After the hadath بعد اللبس. لأن الحدث هو الموجب للوضوء. Because the hadath is the thing which causes, makes it mandatory for the wudu. ولأن جواز المسح يبتدئ من الحدث. And for allowing, the mas starts from the hadath. So I will give an example. يكون ابتداء المدة من أول جواز المسح. So you should bring in when you're فيكون ابتداء المدة من أول جواز المسح. So you'll begin it from the first mash. So he says it's allowed for you to do masha, to wash, to wipe over the jabira or whatever, when you first do hadath, you break your wudu and then do the first ablution. For both, the period of permissibility starts from the time of being in a state of ritual impurity, cause, and after wearing the khuffs, as ritual impurity necessitates ablution. Still, some scholars view the duration from the first ablution after being in a state of ritual impurity. So he's giving two uh, opinions. And I follow the second one. ومن العلماء ما يرى أن ابتداء المدة يكون من المسح بعد الحدث. When do you start the time? So some says, okay, you break your wudu. Like for example, I am wearing. So the condition, one of the conditions is bringing below is you have to wear them pure. Like you've done wudu, you've worn your socks or shoes, and then in Fajr, for example, in the Salatul Fajr, and then in Dhuhr, you break your wudu. So the Shaykh says, because you've broken your wudu, your timing now, because you're resident, will be from till the next Dhuhr. From this Dhuhr, today's Dhuhr, to next Dhuhr. Like for example, today is 2nd of Feb, no? Till 3rd of Feb, Dhuhr. Your time is allowed. But some scholars say, no, just because I broke the wudu, why should my time start? I'm not doing wudu like for, like Dhuhr, I'm praying at, for example, I should have prayed at 1 o'clock, but I was traveling, or I prayed Dhuhr at, for example, 2 o'clock or 2:30. Correct? So my time, so I'm doing wudu now. So I'm doing wudu at 2 o'clock on 2nd of Feb. So till 2 o'clock, 24 hours of 3rd of Feb, it's allowed for you to must. That means anytime you are wearing socks, anytime like in the office or something, you've got 24 hours of job and you are not removing your socks at all till tomorrow Dhuhr. So what do? Whenever you do like Asr, you go to the washroom and then you don't remove the socks and you do wudu and you wipe over your socks. You wipe over your socks, and that's how you do. And I follow the second opinion, which is that's what we've learned. But the Sheikh says there's an opinion which says no, you've broken the wudu at 12 o'clock, you have to only do it at 12. I mean, your time finishes at 12. But Allahu Alam, what seems correct is just because I broke my wudu, why should I start, it depends. The counting should start from my first wiping. Allahu Alam. ابتداء المدة يكون من المسح بعد الحدث. So what I'll do now is look at what Shuyukh have said, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen and others, about this issue. This is the opinion of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen also, that it starts from the first masah. And for example, a person wears in Fajr, till the next Fajr, he did not break his wudu at all. I mean, he might be traveling or whatever. And then next Fajr, like on 3rd of Feb, today's second one, 3rd of Feb in Fajr, he does it first masah. So now he can do, if he's a resident, till the masah of, or is a traveler, more 3 days. So for the 4th, 5th and 6th. Now, Allahu Alam. And this is what seems correct. Although the Shaykh said, no, I mean, he's stated both of his opinions. And the Shaykh, from what his fatwa looks like, he is looking at when you break the wudu. And for example, I might not break the wudu. I wipe my socks in Isha, for example. I did not break my wudu for Fajr. I prayed Fajr and I broke my wudu at 9 a.m., for example. So should I count my time till next 9 a.m.? No, because I'm not wiping now. I'll wipe it at 12 p.m. at the time of Dhuhr. So I'll count it from Dhuhr to Dhuhr, and that seems correct. Allahu Alam. So what are some conditions for wiping over the khuffs? شروط المسح على الخفين ونحوهما. يشترط للمسح على الخفين وما يقوم مقامهما من الجوارب ونحوها أن يكون الإنسان حال لبسهما على طهارة من الحدث. So the condition is it's mandatory that he should, when he's wearing it from the socks or from the khuff, he should be tahir. He should be on tahara من الحدث لما في الصحيحين وغيرهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, because the hadith where the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لمن أراد نزع خفيه وهو يتوضأ, who wanted to remove his khuffs while he was doing wudu, دعهما فإني أدخلتهما طاهرتين. Leave them as I had put them after performing ablution. That means also some said, I can wipe over them. Why do you want me to remove, right? وحديث أمرنا أن نمسح على الخفين إذا نحن أدخلناهما على طهر. And we were commanded that we wipe over them if we had entered them on purity, on tahara, state of ritual purity. So I can't just say, oh, I didn't do wudu, I wore my shoes, socks, and then I want to do wudu, I can wipe over it. No, you should be in wudu, in the state of wudu, before wearing these things. فلو كان حال لبسهما محدثا, and if the one who is a muhdith, لم يجوز المسح عليهما. If it's a muhdith means a person who has already broken his wudu, is not in the state of purity, then it's not allowed for him to wipe at all. He should remove the socks, shoes, whatever, and then do. Second, ويشترط أن يكون الخف ونحوه مباحا. It should be something which is lawfully acquired, obviously. It should not be stolen. فإن كان مغصوبا أو حريرا بالنسبة للرجل لم يجوز المسح عليه. If it is مغصوب, it has been forcefully acquired, you've stolen someone's, whatever, taken by force, or it is silk, then it's not allowed for you to do mas. لأن المحرم لا تستباح به الرخصة. Because the qaida is muharram, the thing which is impermissible, which is not allowed, does not become permissible just by which is already by a rukhsa, by a concession. Concessions are only for legal things. A legal permission is not applied to what is already illegal. So rukhsa cannot be applied. ويشترط أن يكون الخف ونحو ساترا للرجل. It should be covering. ساترا للرجل فلا يمسح عليه إذا لم يكن صافيا مغطيا لما يجب غسله. So must should not be done إذا لم يكن ضافيا. It should be a صافيا. Oh, it's ضافيا. Yeah, ضافيا مغطيا لما يجب غسله. One cannot wipe unless they are thick enough in covering the parts of the feet which are to be washed. لما يجب غسله. So I said about holes in the socks, right? So the holes should not be like fully such big that it's not covering the part at all. بأن كان نازلا عن الكعب. And thus if they're too short to cover the feet up to the ankles, or are not thick enough to conceal underneath, it is impermissible to wipe over. They're so thin, they do not cover at all. أو كان ضافيا لكنه لا يستر رجل. I said رجل, it's رجل لصفائه أو خفته كجورب غير صفيق فلا يمسح على ذلك كله لعدم ستره. So if it is ضافي لكنه لا يستر الرجل, if it is ضافي, I think ضافي means short, لصفائه أو خفته, it's very thin, very very thin, it's not covering at all, like a socks which is غير صفيق. And then translate that. Socks which are not thick. Safiq means thick. فلا يمسحه, you should not do it because it's not covering it at all. لعدم ستره. ويمسح على ما يقوم مقام الخفين. So everything that takes its place, it's allowed to do مسح. فيجوز المسح على الجورب بالصفيق الذي يستر الرجل من صوف أو غيره. So you can do it from jawrab, which is a socks, which is thick enough from wool or such like material. لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مسح على الجوربين والنعلين. So some did on jawrab or na'alain, sandals also. رواه أحمد وغيره وصححه الترمذي. صححه الترمذي. أو يستمر المسح عليه إلى تمام المدة دون ما يلبس فوقه من خف أو نعل ونحوه. So he can do مسح the whole period إلى تمام المدة, legal period, so 24 hours or 72 hours, دون ما يلبس فوقه من خف أو نعل ونحوه, and regardless of the frequency of taking them off and putting them on. Now رواه أحمد وغيره استمروا ولا تأثير لتكرار خلعه ولبسه إذا كان قد بدأ المسح على الجورب. Regardless taking him out and putting on. So if you remove the socks, what will happen? Now this is a difference of opinion again. قلع الجورب أو قلع الخفين. If you remove it, what happens? So there's some scholars who say that your wudu is also broken. Like for example, in Fajr I wear it, then I do wudu normal So I can do for 24 hours. I mean, in Dhuhr, I break my wudu and I wipe over it. Now I wear it again. I mean, I'm already wearing it. I remove it while being in Tahara and then I wear it again. So he says nothing will happen if you remove it, whatever. But there are other opinions also that some say if you remove it, khalas, your wudu is broken. If you remove it, your period is broken. So that is that. So Sheikh bin Baz says, وذكر أهل العلم أنه متى خلع الخف بعد الحدث بطل وضوءه. هذا هو ما الذي أهل العلم وهو جمهورهم. So what he's doing, he's removing the khuf after the hadath. So after hadath, like zuhur, you broke your wudu, you did this and then you remove it. وقد قال بعض أهل العلم وهو شاذ أنه لا يبطل الوضوء بخلع الخف. Some scholars, and it says shadh, it does not break the wudu. وإن كان ابن الشيخ محمد بن سي قال هذا الكلام فهو غلط. Sheikh ibn Uthaymin says the wudu does not break, and I follow Sheikh ibn Uthaymin's view because nawaqid al-wudu are specified in the Sharia. And how can you say just by removing the shoes your wudu is also broken? Okay, we can understand the duration is gone. Okay, we can understand that point. But how can wudu be broken without actually breaking it? So والصواب أنه متى خلع الخفين بطل الطهارة. That's what Shaykh bin Baz said. So the correct opinion, inshallah, which seems like I in Fajr Salah I wear the khuf on tahara. Now I do wudu properly and I wear my socks. And in Dhuhr I break my wudu and I go around. I mean, I don't remove my socks, but I wipe over them. So my time starts from Dhuhr 12 p.m. If I do it, it'll be till next 12 p.m. But what happened was at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., I was like, my feet were itching or whatever. I removed the socks, right? I removed the socks. So does it mean at 3 p.m. my wudu was broken? Like Sheikh bin Baz says, Jumhur says, yes, it'll be broken. But Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh ibn Uthaymin, and others have said, inshallah ta'ala, the correct opinion is there's no dalil. How can you say, and Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan also says that, how can you say the wudu is broken just by removing the socks, the khuffain? How can it happen, the socks or whatever you're wearing? So I wear it back again. I am in tahara, I wear it back again, and then I continue wiping till 12 p.m. next day. Okay? So my wudu is not breaking. This is first scenario. I hope you understood. So I wore it in Fajr at 5 a.m. and then 12 p.m. I wiped it. 3 p.m. I removed it. I removed it. I was still in Tahara. I just removed it, some itching or whatever. And then 4 p.m. I wore it again. And then I broke my wudu. Then I broke my wudu while I'm still wearing it at 4 p.m. Then I can continue wiping, inshallah ta'ala. The second scenario is I wore it at 5 a.m. and then 12 p.m. I wiped it once, and then 3 p.m. I broke my wudu and removed it. Correct? So when I'm doing wudu now 4 p.m., I cannot wear it again and do masah on it. The period is ended, khalas, it's over. Why? Because I did not wear the socks again, ala taharatin, on tahara. I hope it is clear, right? I hope these scenarios are clear in your head. So we could safely say, inshallah, for the correct opinion is, if you remove your socks and you're on tahara, there's no problem. That means you're wearing it again on tahara, there's no problem. You can remove it or wear it in tahara. But if you remove your socks and break your tahara and then you wear it again, then your 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. duration is cut off. You have to wash them again to start a new cycle. Right. Inshallah, I hope it is correct. Inshallah, you've understood. If not, you can post a comment, inshallah. I will try to explain again, if I remember. Because it's a little tricky, unless you read it again and again and again, you'll not remember. Because even I keep forgetting these rulings, because it doesn't come so much in the society. Okay. Okay. ويجوز المسح على العمامة. Now let's come to عمامة. So he said لا تأثير ذكر خلعه ولبسه. This is true. There's no problem of removing it, wearing it, but you should be in tahara. You should be in tahara. If you're not in tahara, then it's gone. ويجوز المسح. Now let's come to the imama. You worn an imama, a turban. There's some conditions. أحدهما أن تكون ساترة لما لم تنزل عادة بكشفه من الرأس. The first is that the turban must covering the area of the head which is traditionally covered. This whole area is covered. This whole area is covered. الشرط الثاني أن تكون العمامة محنكة. The second condition is it should be محنكة. Now what is محنكة? وهي التي تدار منها تحت الحنك دور فأكثر. So rubbed along the lower jaw up to the head. So some turbans, they come like this, and then they go down, and then it'll go like this. You'll be like fully jammed. It'll become jammed. One or more than one turn, or to be with the back tail. أو تكون ذات ذؤابة. Or you just leave it back. So you wear it like this, and you leave a tail behind. Why? Why is it like that? Because it'll be removed. It'll be difficult to remove, or it should be muhannaka. That's the condition. I don't know the dalail for this, but this is what one of the conditions the Shaykh hafidhahullah says. أن تكون عمام محنكة وهي التي يدار منها تحت الحنك. حنك is jaw, from what I understand. دور فأكثر, one round or another. أو تكون ذات ذؤابة وهي التي يلقى طرفها من خلف. So one of this side will be left behind. It should have a tail at the behind, back tail. فقد ثبت عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المسح على العمامة بأحاديث أخرجها غير واحد من الأئمة. So مسح على العمامة, more than one hadith has come. غير واحد. وقال عمر من لم يطهره المسح على العمامة فلا طهر الله له, فلا طهره الله. Ibn Umar said من لم يطهر المسح على العمامة, he is not purified by wiping over the turban, then Allah may not purify him. فلا طهره الله, Allah may not purify him. وإنما يجوز المسح على الخفين والعمامة في الطهارة من الحدث الأصغر. So imama, you're wiping it over the imama itself. So when you do masah ala al-ras, you just wipe it like this on the turban. And there are other ways also. Some people say you have to see the hair, but from what I know, that is not correct. Just show your hair, and they do it like that with on caps also. But caps or the kuffis which we wear, we have to remove that. It's not an imama. And this is only for a small ritual impurity. If you are for big ones, you are not allowed to do it. وأما الحدث الأكبر فلا يمسح على شيء من ذلك فيه بل يجب غسل ما تحتها. If you're taking a bath or whatever, then you should wash properly. Wash underneath in the latter case. ويمسح على الجبيرة. Now how about you have a wound? جبيرة. You have a wound. وهي أعواد ونحوها تربط على الكسر. And those are bandages, splints, bandages, awadun, which are tied al kusri, on kusr. Kusr is something which is broken bones or whatever, bandages. Al kusri. ويمسح على الضماد الذي يكون على الجرح. It is done on the wound. It is wound on where the jurh على الجرح. وكذلك يمسح على اللصوق الذي يجعل على القروح. And he's giving various technical terms. And that moreover one is permitted to wipe over plasters that cover wounds. Plasters. Dimad, plasters. وكذلك يمسح على اللصوق الذي, or اللصوق also something. كل هذه الأشياء يمسح عليها. All of these things you'll do مسح on it. بشرط أن تكون على قدر الحاجة. But it should be done what is necessary. بحيث تكون على الكسر والجرح وما قرب منه مما لا بد من وضعها عليه لتؤدي مهمتها. All such coverings are permitted to, over provided they cover only the injured area, necessary parts which need to be covered for treatment. However, the splint, bandage, or light covers more than the injured area unnecessarily, the necessary parts must be removed. So sometimes what he'll do, I mean, doctors will obviously make it necessary. And just because you have a wound on your right hand, you cannot wear a bandage on your left hand, no? Only on the right hand, which is necessary. And doctors will obviously put necessary only. Unnecessary things they won't put, inshallah ta'ala. Because if you have a splint on this finger, they'll not put it on this finger, obviously. But if it's there, you have to remove it. فَإِن تَجَاوَزَتْ قَدْرَ الْحَاجَةِ لَزِمَهُ نَزْعُ مَا زَادَ عَنِ الْحَاجَةِ. If it is more than that, you have to remove it. You have to remove that. وَيَجُوزُ مَسْحُ, but only to that extent. Like I have on this hand, for example, I should just wipe over this hand, not my whole arm. So the whole arm I should wash it. Only this hand I should wipe it, because that's why jabira is. وَيَجُوزُ الْمَسْحُ عَلَى الْجَبِيرَةِ وَنَحْوِهَا فِي الْحَدَثِ الْأَصْغَرِ وَالْأَكْبَرِ. And jabira, you can do it in hadath al-asghar wal-akbar, minor and major. For doing ghusl also, you can wear they wear a packet or something, no, a polythene cover, and then no need to do this ghusl by taking, and then you can just wipe it over, or you can just protect it. Naam, inshallah ta'ala. وَلَيْسَ لِلْمَسْحِ عَلَيْهَا وَقْتٌ مُحَدَّدٌ. And there's no specific time for it. There's no fixed period till whenever you have, like you've fallen, you've got some band-aids for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. In the whole time you're allowed to do it. But يُمْسَحُ عَلَيْهَا إِلَى نَزِعِهَا أَوْ بُرْءٍ مَا تَحْتَهَا, until it is healed. Broken limb heals. بل يمسح عليها لأن مسحها لأجل الضرورة فيتقدر بقدر الضرورة. It is dependent on darura. It is happening because of darura. You should do it when it is necessary. And dalil is what? والدليل على مسح الجبيرة حديث جابر. حديث جابر رضي الله عنه قال خرجنا في سفر فأصاب رجلا منها حجر. So we were in traveling, and a man was struck with a stone. فشجاه في رأسه, with his head. ثم احتلم, then he had a wet dream. فسأل أصحابه هل تجدون لي رخصة في التيمم? Can I just do tayammum? Because my head is broken. No? Can I just do tayammum? قالوا ما نجد لك رخصة وأنت تقدر على الماء. No, we don't find any excuse for you. There's no rukhsa concession for you while you have water. You're able to use water. So subhanallah, because of such ruling, فَغْتَسِلْ, so do wudu, do ghusl. فَمَاتَ, so he died, subhanallah. He did ghusl and he died. فَلَمَّا قَدِمْنَا عَلَىٰ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. Because of a wrong fatwa, people can die. You should be careful of giving a legal verdict without knowledge. May Allah protect us. فَلَمَّا قَدِمْنَا عَلَىٰ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم أُخْبِرَ بِذَلِكَ. He was informed about that. فَقَالَ قَتَلُوهُ قَتَلَهُمُ اللَّهُ. They've killed him. May Allah kill them. أَلَا سَأَلُوا إِذَا لَمْ يَعْلَمُوا. Should they not ask when they did not know? فَإِنَّمَا شِفَاءُ الْعِيِّ السُّؤَالِ. The shifa, the cure for the ayy or jahl, is cure for ignorance is asking. شِفَاءُ الْعِيِّ السُّؤَالِ. So you should ask. Seek knowledge, ask questions. إِنَّمَا كَانَ يَكْفِيهِ أَنْ يَتَأَمَّمَ. You should just have done tayammum. وَيَعْصِبَ عَلَى جُرْحِهِ خِرْقَةً ثُمَّ يَمْسَحَ عَلَيْهَا. And over his bandage, he should wear a piece of cloth and then to wipe over it. Khirqa is a piece of cloth. Rawahu Abu Dawud ibn Majah wa Sahahu ibn Sakan. So it's very dangerous. So this hadith shows us the wiping of jabira. محل المسح من هذه الحوائل, the areas to be wiped over, يمسح ظاهر الخف والجورب. The khuff, the upper part of the khuff and the socks you should wipe. ويمسح أكثر العمامة, and for imama you should do fully. أكثر العمامة ويختص ذلك بدوائرها, and especially its folds. دوائرها. ويمسح على جميع الجبيرة, and jabira you should do it fully. So splints of bandages, you have to do it fully. وصفة المسح على الخفين, and how do you do on the khuffain? The way you will take أن يضع أصابع يديه مبلولتين بالماء. You should take it wet with water. على أصابع رجليه, and fingers of his leg. ثم يمرها or يمرها إلى ساقه, and then he should do it like this to his legs with his right hand. يمسح الرجل اليمنى باليد اليمنى, and he'll do it right hand with right hand, left with left. والرجل اليسرى بيد اليسرى. ويفرج أصابعه إذا مسح, and should open his fingers إذا مسح. So he'll take a white water, right and then left. Some say it together, but from what I know, you can do it however. ولا يكرر المسح, and you should not repeat it. You should not do it 3 times, just once. So now, like, you'll do the masah of your head and you have to wash your leg. So you'll just take your hand, do it like this on top of your leg. Take your hand with water, wet hand, top, and then the left hand. And now, inshallah ta'ala, وفقنا الله جميعا للعلم النافع والعمل الصالح. May Allah guide us all to useful knowledge and righteous deeds. Inshallah ta'ala. We'll talk about nawaqid al-wudu, inshallah, things which break the wudu in our next class. This is all about khuff, and jabira, wounds, bandages, as well as imamah. Imamah. We have a short lesson which is nawaqid al-wudu, and then inshallah we'll start with chapter number 10, which is al-ghusl. Babun fi ahkam al-ghusl. Then we'll go to tayammum, fi izalati najasa, if removing the najasa, inshallah. So totally how many these things we have, chapters? If I see, this was page number, which page is this? Sorry, 71, no? I just want to see how many chapters in the numbers. Jihad has come here. Oh, they've started numbers again. Okay. Chapter 11. Aqidah, Aqiqah. No, not counted like that. Chapter 7. Chapter 2. This is Hajj Umrah's kitab. Hajj. Chapter 5. So 11 plus 5. Fasting has 5 chapters. And then charity zakat has 10 or 9. Interesting. Okay. Then you have Salah. This was Salah. Salah is a long bab. 30. 30 chapters in Salah. It's short chapters. Jum'ah and so on and so on. Let's see how many chapters in Tahara. This is just Salah. Salah is 30 chapters. So 30, 41, 50. This is 50. In Tahara, how many are there? 13. So we are in the 9th one. Yeah, in the 9th one. So the 13 chapters in Tahara. Then we have 30 in Salah. And then 11 and 5, 9, like that. Only 60 or 70 chapters in totally, I believe. Inshallah ta'ala. We'll do them slowly. So approximately 60 videos. We'll see if we can join 2 or more chapters. But I think 1 chapter for 1 video is fine. Inshallah ta'ala, so that you can search and you can watch them. It'll be summarized. Barakallahu feekum, Jazakallahu Khairan, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.